At the end of the 2022 NBA draft, all attention and focus now turned to a player who was being touted as the next biggest NBA prospect since LeBron James. And to be honest, they were already talking about this young French phenom even before the 2022 draft. And throughout the 22-23 season, the constant talk around the league was who was going to get a chance to draft this prospect of a lifetime, a once-in-a-generation level talent that was expected to be the future face of the league. The tank for Wemby sweepstakes was on the moment things tipped off in the 22-23 season. And luckily for the San Antonio Spurs, one of the greatest franchises in the league with a strong history of success, landed their next big superstar in Victor Wembanyama. But while most assumed Wemby would take the NBA by storm and would live up to all the hype surrounding him coming into the league, there were some skeptics who were uncertain whether he would in fact be this once-in-a-generation level player, and to be fair, their skepticism was justified. After all, we've heard the same in terms of great prospects since LeBron James before, with guys like Andrew Wiggins, Ben Simmons, and even Zion Williamson, and much to our disappointment, they never panned out to be the superstars we thought that they would. But for Victor Wembanyama, while it's still early in his career and he has a long road ahead of him to show why he's a future all-time great, he's been everything he was hyped up to be and some, with just how dominant of a rookie season he's been having. So dominant, in fact, that he's arguably having the best rookie season in NBA history. Yes, even better than LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, and Michael Jordan. Now, that may surprise some, because when you think of how dominant and impactful players like LeBron, Shaq, and MJ were in their early careers, and you look at what Wemby is doing and you think, okay, he's nice, but he's not on their level in terms of what they were able to do in their rookie season. But the biggest difference here being that Wemby and his role on the Spurs has been vastly different than that of the aforementioned players, one in which the Spurs have been very cautious with his minutes and hindering his overall production by intentionally having him play without a real point guard to start the season. To illustrate just how good Wemby has been and why we're all witnessing one of the most historic rookie seasons ever, let's dive into some of the numbers. But first, a quick word from the sponsor of today's video, Game Time. Now, if you've ever had the pleasure of going to a game in person, it truly is one of the best experiences you'll ever have as a fan, but sometimes that experience of buying tickets is not the best. Are you getting a good deal? Are you not getting a good deal? Are the tickets legitimate? How do you know that you're not being scammed? Well, with Game Time, they take out the guesswork when it comes to buying tickets. You shouldn't have to worry when you buy tickets to your next big event. I actually used Game Time the other day to buy tickets to go see my Chicago Bulls to take on the Warriors here in the Bay Area, and I got an amazing deal for close-up seats to the action. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater events. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. It really is the best place to find last-minute seats. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets. With zone deals, you can pick a section where you want to sit, and Game Time will pick the seats for you for big-time savings. And the Game Time guarantee means you'll get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So again, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the promo code AND1 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code AND1 for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Now, when you look at Wembanyama's numbers in isolation, looking at the raw averages of 20.7 points per game, 10.3 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 3.4 blocks, and 1.3 steals, and you think, okay, those are catchy numbers that indicate a very high-level player in the NBA. And while the numbers are eye-popping, especially for a 20-year-old rookie, they don't really illustrate just how amazing Wemby has been. Not even just for a rookie, but for any player in the league that is in the elite of the elite. You see, while the San Antonio Spurs are one of the greatest franchises in the NBA and will soon again rise to prominence, their mission right now is not to win. In fact, their mission is solely focused on acquiring more draft capital and putting Wemby in the toughest situations possible for him to be able to adapt and develop his game in the NBA. As I mentioned, it's no secret the Spurs started out the season intentionally playing him without a point guard, having Jeremy Sohan start at the point to provide the Spurs with no spacing and limited ability to operate in the pick and roll as a lob threat. And while the Spurs have used this strategy to help him improve his overall footwork and operating ability in the paint, at the same time they have also been very cautious in limiting his minutes. After all, the last thing you want to do is risk a major injury to your next franchise player. Despite Wemby's production and being the best in his class, he's only averaging 28.8 minutes per game, which is fourth among all rookies. He could play more, especially when the Spurs are in a season of experimentation and aren't focused on winning. But the Spurs are being as careful as they possibly can while they navigate the future of their team. But despite Wemby's limited minutes as a rookie, he's the first rookie in NBA history to average at least 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks in a game. Those averages have only been matched 16 times in NBA history by Hall of Fame players or future Hall of Fame players who put up those kind of numbers in their primes. Wemby is doing it at the age of 20. Now, if you really want to illustrate just how remarkable Wemby's rookie season has been by the numbers, break those metrics down by per 36 minutes or per 100 possessions to get a true value of his production based on the limited minutes and restricted usage he has on the court. If you take all of his points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks on a per 36-minute basis, he is putting up averages that far exceed the likes of some of the historic big men like David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Tim Duncan. Totaling the averages of all those stats put together, you have Wemby at 49.1 per 36 minutes, while the next best rookie at those numbers was David Robinson at 43.2, not even close to the level of production that Wemby is seeing in his rookie year. Ever heard of a 5x5 game in the NBA? Well, if you haven't, it's because it's incredibly rare to accomplish. While triple-doubles are nice, 5x5 games are one of the hardest stat lines to achieve in the game of basketball, where a player can total at least 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, steals, and blocks in a single game. These feats have only been achieved 22 times in the league's 77-year history. And Wembanyama has already reached that mark in just his rookie season, while also putting up 2 additional games where he was damn near close to it. And yes, a rookie has never had a 5x5 game in league history. In fact, of the 22 5x5 games in NBA history, a player was never able to reach that mark until their 3rd season in the league. Victor Wembanyama is arguably one of the most complete players to ever enter the league at such a young age, because while other greats like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem, Shaq, Tim Duncan all had incredible rookie seasons, none of them were able to pull off the kind of production Wemby has had in his first season, and none were as complete of players as Victor is on both sides of the ball. While MJ's scoring was already elite in just his first season, Magic's passing and court vision were on point in his rookie year, Shaq was already a dominant force in the paint, and Tim Duncan was already an elite rim protector when he entered the league. Wembanyama, not only does he have his high-level offensive production with his ability to handle and pass the ball like a guard, but also the length, size, and strength to crash the boards and protect the rim with his elite shot-blocking ability, he also has the shooting ability to make him a threat from outside. We truly have never seen a rookie come into the league and be as complete of a package in so many facets of the game, quite like Victor Wembanyama. Not even LeBron James, who was already a complete player upon entering the league. Now, while most will agree that Wilt Chamberlain had the greatest rookie season of all time because not only did he win Rookie of the Year, he literally won the league's MVP award in the same season, averaging an insane 37.6 points per game and 27 rebounds. But, like every other Wilt Chamberlain qualifier, as dominant as he was, we have to acknowledge the level of competition he was going up against in that era of basketball, and of course, the days before the 3 seconds in the key, making it significantly easier for big men to simply hang out in the paint and wait for the ball to be dumped to them for an easy 2. And when you're nearly 8 inches taller than 95% of the league, it starts to become unfair when looking at an apples-to-apples comparison. So while yes, Wilt's rookie season on paper by the numbers has been more dominant than Wemby's, I prefer to focus on the post-shot clock era of basketball when doing these types of comparisons. And based on what we have seen thus far, Wembanyama's short career is he has the ability to become one of the most dominant players in the NBA already. Wemby is one of the best defensive players in the league and is even rivaling Rudy Gobert this season to win Defensive Player of the Year. Wemby's 3.4 blocks per game are actually tied for the most blocks per game by any player in the NBA for the last 7 seasons, not just any rookie, but any player across the league. His impressive timing ability on shots around the rim to swat them out of the air is unmatched in today's NBA, and his ability to navigate and read the pick and roll to make it a non-factor for their opponent is what makes him so lethal in protecting the rim. What's even more ridiculous is that he's able to maintain his elite level rim protection, but also has the footwork and speed to get out and defend the perimeter like a guard. We honestly have never seen a player like this before in league history that possesses all of these skill sets molded into one player. Imagine if we're already seeing this level of performance and production coming from him in just his rookie season, having just turned 20 years old 2 months ago. Who knows what the ceiling is for this young phenom by the time he hits his prime with 6 or 7 seasons in the league under his belt. I've said before, I try not to get too ahead of myself in hyping this guy up to be the next all-time great player and face of the league, but all signs are pointing to Wemby being one of the most unique, gifted, and dominant athletes of this generation, a player we can look forward to watching, growing, and developing into a superstar, a player the likes of LeBron, KD, Steph will be passing the torch to carry this league on into the next decade. And while I know there has been some discourse around Wemby eventually losing his patience and wanting to be on a winning team, I personally find that to be nonsense. You're not leaving a situation where you get to be coached by one of the best, if not the best in the business, and a franchise with a history of success that will surely be able to put the proper pieces around him to be able to contend for a title soon. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. As always, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.